Great to see everybody today. Let's go ahead and come to a nice, comfortable seat in our chairs. If you do have blocks available and you wanted to start with a block between your feet, that can feel nice. You could also take a block between your thighs. You could do one or the other or both. I think I'm going to stick with both today. So just a different way to start. Sometimes it's kind of nice to do. It gives our bodies a little feedback. So you can kind of adjust here if you're using those props. I'm finding that I'm having to scoot forward in my chair a little bit so I can really press down into my sit bones. And then let's give the shoulders a nice little rollout. It's never like a complete yoga class if we don't begin with a little tension releasing in the shoulders. And you can start to roll forward here. And then let's roll back again. And then just feel those shoulders release back and down. There's this gentle squeezing of the shoulder blades in towards each other. And as you press down into your sit bones, you can start to lengthen through the sides of your waist. You feel a little gentle lift of your sternum up towards the ceiling. And then as that's happening, there's this, it's almost a feeling of tucking the chin. You're not going to go all the way there, but it's releasing enough so that the back of your neck is nice and long. Eyelids can close if you haven't already. And then take the biggest breath you've taken today so far. Go ahead and take a nice, smooth, full, deep inhale, fill up. And sigh the breath out, let it go, ha. Smooth, full, deep inhale. And ha, let it go. Do that a few more times, just at your pace. Make as much noise as feels good. Sometimes there's nothing quite as delicious as an audible sigh. It's a great reset. And when you've done that enough and you feel ready to seal your lips and start to inhale through your nose and exhale through your nose, you can move in that direction. And then again, just this idea of really full, deep breaths, bringing attention to the breath. Oxygenating the body. As you listen to that sound of your breath, it helps to quiet and focus the mind. It's so nice to just simply be without worrying about anything, without checking anything off of our to-do list. All of those things will wait. But it's so important that we carve out a little quiet time, a little time to breathe, to move. It's kind of a way to replenish our wellness bank. Let's just stay kind of quiet and internal here. You can keep your eyes closed, but go ahead and start to drop your chin towards your chest now. And it might not go very far. So this definitely gets into the back of the neck, which gets so tight. Couple more breaths here if you wanted to play with just releasing your fingertips down towards the floor. That might introduce a little more intensity, a little more stretch into the system. You can always try it. And as you know, if a variation that I'm offering isn't working for you, you just skip it or you do something different. That's never a problem. As your fingers release down towards the floor, you could even imagine that somebody is just gently pressing down on your shoulders as well. It's like you're finding more space in those scalene muscles. So those muscles on the side of your neck, the muscles in the back of your neck. If you released your fingertips down towards the floor, go ahead and place them back on your thighs as you inhale. You start to lift your chin. Good. So from here, let's just start to turn our head to the right. So you're going to gaze out in the direction of that right shoulder. And again, we're just starting out here. You don't have to go super far. Some days this is easy, some days it's hard. Every time we show up and do our yoga practice, there's different things going on in our bodies. So we're mindful to pay attention to where we're at today. So again, from here, if you'd like to add a little more, maybe start to release those left fingertips down towards the floor. And then perhaps you also start to lift that left arm. I always find this variation to be pretty interesting. I find that I get a little nervy stretch on the underside of my arm, kind of the top of the shoulder. It can sometimes feel like a challenge to keep the breath moving. So again, every so often, just check in with your breath. Make sure that you've got that smooth inhale through your nose and that smooth exhale through your nose. Go ahead and release that left hand down if you took that variation. Palm comes back to your thigh. And then from here, wherever you're at, you start to tuck your chin down towards your chest. So you're kind of like turning to the right and then releasing the chin down. And then we're trying to release the shoulders down too, as stretches get in the neck and shoulders get a little more intense. The body tries to compensate. The shoulders are like, oh, that's a lot. They start to hunch up towards the shoulders. And then again, one more time, if you want to, release your left fingertips down towards the floor. Can you send your breath to the left side of the neck, to those places that are getting this like stretch here? And can you just visualize those muscle fibers opening up a little bit, releasing. And if you wanted to lift that, left arm a little bit, I can't go very far. Go ahead and release your left hand back to your thigh, and then keeping the chin tucked, just start to make your way back down to center. You might take several breaths to get there, so there's no rush. Especially if you get to a place where things feel a little tighter. And when you get back to center, let's just hang out here again. So chin dropping towards chest, shoulder blades releasing down your back. And maybe this is feeling a little easier the second time around. Maybe not. And then as you inhale, go ahead and lift your chin. Very nice. You might get a little head rush after hanging forward like that. As you exhale, start to pivot the neck to the left. And again, you're just going as far as you're able in your body. And you're mindful of the fact that this side might be different. And we're kind of just moving slow. We're taking our time. Really important to keep that breath smooth and steady. So that's going to help us to sort of be in these long held, intense poses here. Neck and shoulder stuff is never easy. And one side's always very different from the other. If you'd like to, release your right fingertips towards the floor. Just take a couple of breaths there. So you can imagine that there's like a weight tied to your wrist. So gravity is kind of pulling you towards the floor. Then again, maybe find that idea of a friend gently pressing down on your shoulders as well. And then if you wanted to, start to lift your right arm any amount. And it is this really interesting nervy stretch on the underside of the arm. At least that's what I'm getting in my body. And I can't say it's bad, but it's definitely intense. Shoulder blades are still releasing down your back. As you exhale, release your right hand down. It comes back to your thigh. And then start to drop your chin towards your chest. And the equation changes on this right side of the body, the neck, the shoulder. So you're just noticing, you're sending your breath to those muscle fibers. You're breathing space. And if you're getting a lot of sensation here, this is a good place to stay. If you wanted to release, right fingertips down again. You can try that here. If you want to lift that right arm, a little bit. Keep the breath moving, especially if you start to get a lot of sensation. Keep those shoulder blades releasing down your back. And exhale, release down. Chin stays tucked here, but take several breaths to start to make your way back to center. Length in the back of the neck as your chin drops towards your chest. Are the shoulders trying to help out? Soften them down. Breath smooth and steady. Good. As you inhale, lift the chin. Let's give those shoulders another little roll out here. And then your option to keep the blocks, or you can set them aside now if you'd like to. Let's just start to find some hip circles. And you can pay attention to how like the lower part of your body is feeling. This pelvic girdle, the lumbar. There can sometimes be some sensation, a little tenderness or a little tightness. So just kind of noticing that. And you might notice that it shifts a little bit if your circles are big or if they're small. And then let's start to move in the opposite direction. Really nice. You can start to make the circles a little bit smaller, and you can notice that play that happens as you rock from one sit bone to the other, and then it becomes so tiny that both sit bones are pressing down into your chair. And you can take a moment here to peek down, just make any little adjustments that you need to. So knees are over your ankles, rooting into your sit bones, lengthening through the sides of your waist. From here, let's just move into some simple cat-cow. So inhaling, you rock forward on your sit bones. It's like a cobra pose. As you exhale, you round and chin drops towards chest. We're getting more spine involved. Inhaling, arching. Exhaling, rounding in. So I invite you to continue with this, and you're moving with your breath. Some days it feels intuitive to move a little faster. Some days we want to stretch the breath out, stretch the movement out. So kind of decipher where you're at in space and time at this moment. What would feel good for you? What do you need? Maybe you're noticing that the breath becomes a little more central as you connect movement with the breath like this. For a lot of us, this kind of has a calming, meditative, it's like a moving meditation kind of a feeling. It's kind of easier to block out some of the thoughts that come in and really pay attention to the sensations that we're getting in the body. Perhaps that's true for you as well. We'll just do a few more rounds here. Good. And then kind of like we did with our hip circles, just start to make that movement in your spine a little smaller until you found that the center of your sit bones, whose technical name is ischial tuberosities, for anybody who's curious about that. I don't know why that just popped into my brain, but yeah, you can work that into a sentence later. All right, so as you press into your ischial tuberosities, you can lengthen through the sides of your waist. You're sitting nice and tall. We have this beautiful Tadasana mountain pose. Let's release our arms down by our sides. So there's a little external rotation at the shoulder head. Inhale, we're going to take the arms out and up. And then exhale, spin the palms to face out. This time we're going to go forward and up, so palms face in towards each other. And exhaling forward. Externally rotate again, out and up. Take up space. These look fantastic. And then find that internal rotation. Give yourself a little resistance as you press down. Inhale, forward and up. Good. Exhale, forward and down. Let's go forward and up again. All right, so a couple of options here. You can either hook a thumb and pull your arms apart, or you could interlace your fingers and press palms up towards the ceiling. A lot of it just depends on shoulder flexibility. All right, take a nice deep inhale here. Exhale, twist right. It's going to be tiny with the arms up overhead. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist left. Inhale back to center. So unhook the thumbs or release the hands. Deep inhale. Exhale, take the arms out wide. Good, nice deep inhale. Exhale, twist to the right. Stretch out on your inhale. And then as you exhale, you can release hands down. Left hand can come to your right thigh. It could be on your left thigh. You can grab a piece of chair behind you. You're getting a little leverage as you press into thigh and chair to draw those shoulder heads back, finding that lift of your sternum. So there's a little cobra pose in this twist that we're doing. Sides of the waist are still lengthening here, even as we're wrapping the left waist to the right. All right, take a deep inhale. As you exhale, unwind, wrap your right arm up and over. Just give yourself a little hug so you can grab those shoulder blades. And then just keeping the spine tall, maybe lifting the elbows a tiny amount. So this is a good stretch in the arms, the shoulders. If the elbows drop down towards your belly button, it will be a little less intense. Okay, and then as we inhale, let's reach the arms out and up. Really nice. Okay, again, inhaling out and up. And exhale out and down. Inhale forward and up. Exhale forward and down. Externally rotate. Inhale out and up. And exhale out and down. Inhale forward and up. Exhale forward and down. And we're coming forward and up again as we inhale. So hook thumbs again, go for the way that feels funny. And if you can't remember, go for the way that feels normal and then switch it. Or again, you can flip your palms, same deal, kind of do the way that feels normal first and then do the opposite. Deep inhale here. Exhale, little twist to the left. And it's tiny with the arms like this overhead. Exhale or inhale back to center. And exhale, little twist to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale, the arms come out wide. So plugging those shoulder blades in towards each other. Exhale, twist left. Inhale to center. Exhaling, twisting to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, find your giant wingspan. And then release your hands down. So grabbing a piece of chair behind you. Could even, your left hand could be on your left hip. Right hand pressing on either leg. As you press into your sit bones, as you anchor there, as you use a little leverage with your hands, you start to wrap your right ribs to the left. You move your gaze in the direction of that left shoulder. It's probably not going to get all the way there. And then find that breath again. Listen to your inhale. Listen to your exhale. Okay, so as we unwind here, you're going to just bring this left arm up and around. Give yourself that hug. Okay, and again, so you kind of control the intensity here. So the more the elbows are releasing towards your belly, the less intense it's going to be. You want to start to lift them up any amount. As you're doing that, can you just keep your spine nice and long? Breath is constant, it's steady. You might visualize your exhale going to those places in the back of the shoulders here that are a little tender and tight. Okay, feel the sensation of your sit bones pressing in. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen so much that as you inhale and reach your arms out and up, it's like you grew a couple of inches. Nice. And then the hands release down. Let's just bring our palms together at our heart. Close your eyes here. Just take a few breaths. Do like a little check-in halfway through the class. How are you feeling? Probably feeling a little heat inside the body. Your heart might be beating a little faster. Maybe the breath is finding its groove at this point. And as a result of that, maybe there's a sense of focus and calm in your headspace. And of course, we acknowledge that some days all of that's just like too much. It's not happening. We don't stress ourselves out about that. Some days it's just the way it is. So it's important to remember that trying counts. It doesn't have to look perfect. It's important to remember that the next time we come to our yoga practice, it will be different. We're always changing. All right, so blink your eyes open here. Release your arms down by your sides. As you inhale, let's start to side bend to the right. Take that left arm up and over. And exhale, release down. Inhale, right arm up and over. And exhale, release. And then just flowing here like this. So kind of another way of getting into the spine. We've done that flexion and that extension movement, that forward and back. That's probably a little more pronounced. It's kind of easier. It's a more dramatic move than this side to side stretching. But this is such an important way to move our spine. So you're paying attention to the sensations that you're getting. You're enjoying the space as you extend off to one side and then the other. The next time you are side bending to the right, just hang out there. Find that idea of both shoulder blades releasing down. Could you imagine that, just pretend that there's a sandbag on your left thigh to help anchor that sit bone down. And then as that's happening, you're finding that extension. You're reaching through those left fingertips. Maybe you're wrapping your right ribs up. Maybe you're gazing up underneath that top arm. A lot of that is going to be predicated upon whether or not it feels good in the neck or okay in the neck. Deep inhale. Exhale, release. And then inhale, take that right arm up and over. Pressing into that sit bone, that right sit bone. You've got a sandbag, an imaginary sandbag on that thigh, giving you a little gravity, a little weight. And as you press strongly into that right sit bone, you reach through your right fingertips. All the while your left ribs are spinning up. You might be gazing up underneath that top arm. Breath doesn't skip a beat. Beautiful. Deep inhale. And exhale. Releasing down. And you can just close your eyes here for a breath or two. And to feel some sensation coming back to the arms. And then we're going to blink our eyes open. So we're going to come into a warrior two pose. We'll do a little warrior flow with that. So as you know, there's always like lots of variations that we do. Any of these poses can be done from this mountain pose to Tadasana position. So option one is to just stay exactly where you're at. Option two is to open up that right leg any amount. And it's going to be different for all of us. It's going to depend on hip flexibility. Sometimes even the space that we're in can affect that. So you just find that place where you feel good. The one piece that you want to make sure is happening is that your right knee is over your right ankle. Maybe the foot slightly ahead of your knee. But we're not looking for knee over ankle. That's a different stretch. All right, so you might just stay here like this. You might play with extending that left leg straight forward, so you're just pressing into the center of the heel. And then a few of us might play with opening that leg. You roll to the inner edge of that foot. So in our Warrior Two pose, front leg, we're getting a hip opener, but the back leg is neutral. So again, they're all good places to be. I'm going to stay here today. And let's just take a couple of breaths. Let's all take our right hand into our right thigh if you're doing that variation and gently press back. So just finding a little more of that hip opening. So right leg is opening. Left leg, hip is neutral, torso is facing forward towards the camera. So a lot of different little things going on. From here, let's release our hands down. And then we're going to inhale, reach forward and up. Spin your palms to face out and then exhale. Bring your wrists to shoulder height. Your torso continues to square towards the camera, but you start to turn your head. You gaze out over those right fingertips. And you can feel your sit bones here. And again, as you press into those sit bones, as you anchor there, that helps you to find the lift through the sides of your waist. Flip your right palm up towards the ceiling. Deep inhale. Full exhale. And then as you inhale, we side bend. We have been here already. The configuration is just a little bit different. So we're finding our reverse Warrior Two. Wrapping those left ribs up towards the ceiling, gazing up underneath that top arm. As you're doing that, there is a sensation of the neck or the chin tucking a little bit, so the back of the neck is long. Let's inhale, back up to Virabhadrasana 2. Good, and then lengthen. It's like your little teapot, you're hinging forward, you're reaching, and we're gonna bring our right forearm to our right thigh, and you can even use a little strength of your arm to pull that arm back. Lifting that left arm up and then taking it overhead, which feels so nice. My shoulders are creeping up around my ears, even here, so I'm going to kind of remind them to release down my back. Breath smooth and steady. Just pay attention to your body, to this shape. This is not like an easy pose, I don't think. I find it to be a really challenging one. So where are you getting sensation? Are there places where you might be gripping harder than you need to? Can you soften in those spots? And then how does that change how the pose feels? All right, so you're gonna think a little like side oblique action. We're gonna inhale, back up to Virabhadrasana 2. Good, release your hands down. So we're just going to do 3 rounds of flow, moving with the breath there. So we're going to inhale, Virabhadrasana 2. Take an exhale. Inhale, find your reverse warrior. And then exhale, come all the way up and over into your extended side pose. And then all the way back we go to our reverse warrior on our inhale. And you have that full exhale to find your Utthita Hastasana, Parsva Konasana, extended side. Good, inhale, find your reverse. These look fantastic. Exhale, Parsva Konasana. And then we inhale back in to our Virabhadrasana 2. Deep inhale. Full exhale here. And then spin your palms up to the ceiling. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. You can bring your gaze forward. And as you exhale, palms come to heart center. Nice work. All right, so if you have your left leg off to the side, you can bring it in. If leg is extended, bend that knee. And we just make our way. We sneak back into our Tadasana pose, our mountain pose. Check your alignment here. And as we move into our second side, just know that it might look different than the first side. So things don't need to be like identical. So you stay here like this, if that is a better option for you today. Maybe you start to open up that left leg. So we're finding that external rotation. We're getting that hip opening in this front leg. And just being mindful that knee is over ankle or ankle is slightly ahead of the knee. Perhaps you extend that right leg to straight. So again, right leg is neutral in this pose. If you wanted to kind of approximate a more kind of classical version of the pose, you could open up that right leg, but you're spinning to the inner edge of the foot. So it's like this outer right hip is wrapping towards the inner right hip. You could even take your hand and kind of do that. So just remind your body that's the direction that you're going. And then you square your torso to the camera. We're all going to take our left hand. Just use a little strength to press that knee back behind you. So you're just kind of coaxing a little more hip opening here. All right, so let's go ahead and release our hands down. We're going to inhale, reach the arms forward and up. Spin the palms to face out. And then exhale. Find your Virabhadrasana 2. So your torso keeps facing forward, but you start to rotate your head. You're gazing out over your fingertips. Muscle firms to bone here. It feels counterintuitive, but it's almost like the more you work the arms, the easier it is to hold them up. And holding them up is not easy by any stretch of the imagination. So that being said, you take breaks whenever you need to. From here, we're going to flip our left palm up towards the ceiling. And then we're going to inhale. Find our reverse warrior. So this beautiful side stretch with a little bit of twist. So we're kind of like putting all of the pieces, all of the parts that we've broken down together. You might be gazing up underneath that top arm. What's going on with your breath? As you inhale, come back to your Virabhadrasana 2. Good, and then find that length through the left side. It's like you're reaching. It's like a triangle pose in the upper body. Left forearm comes to that left thigh. You might even give yourself that manual adjustment. And then eventually we're taking that top arm up and over. So you've got this gorgeous line of energy through that right side of your body. And then maybe you're starting to spin your left ribs up towards the ceiling a little more. Maybe you're gazing up underneath that top arm. So again, super challenging pose, Utthita Hastasana, Parsvakasana, but also kind of a yummy pose, gets into a lot of places. So you're checking to see if you're gripping anywhere that you don't need to. To come out of this, you almost need a little core, so you're kind of activating that left side waist as you inhale up. We exhale, release the hands down, the arms down. Take a couple of breaths before we do 3 rounds of flow there. All right, here we go. As you inhale, arms reach out and up. Virabhadrasana 2. Take an exhale here. And then inhale. Find your reverse warrior. We're side bending to the right. As you exhale, you extend through that left side. Right arm up and over. Inhaling, take that full length of your breath to return to your warrior 2. These look amazing. And exhale, extending into that side angle pose. Got one more cycle here. Inhale. Reverse warrior. Oh, and exhale. Side angle. Inhale up. Virabhadrasana 2. Take an exhale here. Spin your palms to face up towards the ceiling. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. And as you exhale, hands come to heart center. Good. Then you can release them down. So if you have this right leg extended, just wiggle, shimmy, shake back to your Tadasana, your mountain pose. Good. So let's move into a little breath work. Let's do some alternate nostril breathing today. So I'm going to scoot forward here, just give the hands, the fingers a little pop. It's fun, isn't it? And then kind of like, I don't know, like you're scooping sand or something. Nice. And then let's just give the wrists a little roll out, switch directions. Let's start with our right hand today. Let's just be crazy, mix it up. So left hand can rest on your thigh. As you know, I'm not too concerned with how you block your nostrils. So you can use any finger combination. The classic mudra is to bend your second and third finger in towards the palm. For some of us, that can just feel really awkward. And then pinky and ring finger kind of become one. So you find that bony part of your nose and then lower to that cartilage, that soft structure. We don't have to press very hard here. So the other thing to be mindful of is that this right elbow is going to want to start to creep up. So you're just releasing it down. You're releasing that right shoulder down. Close your eyes here. Take a smooth, full, deep inhale through both nostrils. Full, complete exhale. Block left, inhale right. Exhale right. Block right, inhale left. Exhale left. Block left, inhale right. Exhale right. Block right, inhale left. Exhale left. Block left, inhale right. Exhale right. Block right, inhale left. Exhale left. Block left, inhale right. Exhale right. Block right, inhale left. Exhale left. Block left, inhale right. Exhale right. Block right, inhale left. Exhale left. Release your right hand down. Inhale through both nostrils. And exhale through both nostrils. Again, inhale through both nostrils. And exhale. We're going to go ahead and use our left hand now. So find your mudra. One more time, inhaling through both nostrils. And exhale. Block right, inhale left. Exhale left. Block left, inhale right. Exhale right. Block right, inhale left. Exhale left. Block left, inhale right. Exhale right. Block right, inhale left. Exhale left. Block left, inhale right. Exhale right. Block right, inhale left. Exhale left. Block left, inhale right. Exhale right. Block right, inhale left. Exhale left. Block left, inhale right. Exhale right. Release your left hand down. Inhale through both nostrils. And exhale. Good. So we're going to move towards a resting pose, Shavasana. Probably not a lot is changing here. You can just stay exactly as you are if that's comfortable to you. You're certainly welcome to do a forward fold. You can come to a classic Shavasana on the floor. But I want you to tap into this idea of letting go, of surrender. You're inviting in this softness. You're giving yourself permission not to control anything anymore. Instead, you're just allowing your body, your brain to soak up the work that we've done, put it all together. Moving into stillness, Shavasana. Asato ma satgamaya. Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya. Mrityorma mritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. So take a deeper inhale here. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out, let it go. Ha. And then just bring some gentle movement back to your body. Just anything that feels good. We're going to eventually all meet together with our hands in a pile on top of our heart. So send yourself, your body, love and gratitude. You showed up. You made the effort. You did it. We send each other love and gratitude. It's so great to meet like this, have this community and support each other. And finally, just promise yourself you're going to carry this good feeling with you into the rest of the day, week, the weekend ahead. Finally, we bow our heads with a smile. Terrific work.